Oh, g'day. Just wanted to talk about one mineral that seems to often be overlooked, and it's pretty well depleted out of most of the farming soils. And just came to mind the other day when I was talking to a friend of mine. That's selenium. So a young friend of mine the other day, he decided him and his partner were going to start a family. They'd been together for 10 years. They've just built a new home. She stopped taking the contraceptive pill. And what happened? They're all upset because they can't get pregnant, or she can't get pregnant. So he's running off doing sperm tests and everything else. Well, the problem is that people sort of don't give their body a chance. So for the last 10 years, she's been using some form of chemical contraceptive. So she didn't get pregnant. So she's been stopping her body from functioning properly. Then all of a sudden, it doesn't work like a flick of a switch. You've got to give your body a chance to detox, I guess, get rid of these chemicals and go back to functioning how it was supposed to be functioning before you overloaded it with some chemicals to make it not function properly. So, so when I've been breeding, I've done a lot of breeding with different animals and that sort of thing, and one of the elements that is super important for the reproductive system, both for males and females, is selenium. And then, so we used to, with our horses, our mares and that sort of thing, we would drench them with a selenium drench, or with our other livestock, we would give them a mineral block that had selenium in them, because we tested the soil and it was pretty well non-existent where we were running the properties. And if you don't cover all the bases, it's like having a car. You got three good tyres on there, all pumped up, all balanced and everything else. But your third one or your fourth one is not so great. Well, you need to run true and correct and run well. You need everything. You need all the elements. You need all the minerals. You need all the vitamins. And that's what they had been mucking up their body, or she'd been mucking up her body with chemicals for 10 years, stopping her reproductive system from working properly. So with a horse, for example, you've got the egg comes down the fallopian tube for 6 hours. It takes to travel down there, and you need the healthy sperm. Well, and you need a healthy egg. So it's the same with everything. You need a healthy male, a healthy female to produce a healthy offspring. And anyway, so getting back to selenium, there's when you read about it, okay, it's found in this, it's found in that, but you don't really know if it's actually in there unless you're going to get that product tested, because it depends on where it was grown or everything else, or what it was fed. So they do say selenium's in eggs, but when you go and get your eggs tested, it's a hit and miss depending on what the chickens were being fed, or where the grain was that was produced, and that. So if you can cover the bases a couple of ways, and I'll just show you how I cover my base. So I'll just where's this thing here to turn this camera around? Oh, hang on. I'll just turn the camera around this way. Okay, so what do? I just have in the mornings after I've done a fast. Often I'll have one day where I'll do all my eating before lunch. The next day I won't eat until after lunch. That way I give myself a good 24-hour break, which works good for me. But if your stomach doesn't work right, nothing works right. You don't get the nutrients. So this products with live culture in them is what I go for, you know. But I like to add often brewer's yeast. So this, I might hold this camera up. I don't know why I can't turn this camera around. Hang on. Where's that? Thought you could reverse it. Anyway, this you've got a brewer's yeast here and a nutritional yeast. And the brewer's yeast has the selenium in it. So I just take me brewer's yeast. I generally just have a spoonful. But I like to cover both bases because even though these are both called yeast, the values they have in them range quite a bit. And then I just add a few of me nuts. I love these ones here because these are got the omega-3 in them. I mean, we all have a lot of omega-6 in everything we do. So these are rich in zinc, and these are obviously, everyone knows these are rich in selenium as well. Then I just chop up a banana and chuck that in, and then just so it's not too dry, I use a bit of sometimes milk and other times a bit of other yogurt probiotic. So then I just put a bit of this on there, and it actually makes a super healthy breakfast, and it's covering all the bases, and that's what it's all about. If you fast, then you want to make sure you're covering all your bases so you get everything. So your body's got everything to function with, all the minerals, amino acids, and everything else. So, for example, you have your zinc, but you need the copper and everything else that goes with it, because nothing actually just functions on its own. So with eggs, they're sort of one of the complete foods. But when I go out, and we go out a fair bit, I don't like buying scrambled eggs, even though I like scrambled eggs, because you don't know what fats and oils they're using with it. So I normally go fried eggs, which I like, or poached eggs, which I don't really like. But you know, you've got to eat for survival. I don't know, it's just seaweed. You always want to have your seaweed. Anyway, that was just a bit of a quick touch on selenium. So don't forget about the use selenium in your diet when you're trying to cover everything. Anyway, have a good day. Thank you. Bye.